Hello friends, in this video we are going to study one of the very important library of Python, that is matplotlib. But before moving towards matplotlib, I suggest you to go through the NumPy. The NumPy is also one of the important Python library. So I will give you the link of that video in a description box. You will watch that video and then go through this video. So let's start. We will start today learning with a new library, that is matplotlib. The mat stands for mathematics, plot stands for plotting, and lib stands for library. The matplotlib library used for data visualization. Matplotlib is a plotting library. So in maths we have studied a lot of plottings. So the types of plots are bar plot, box plot, histogram, pie plot, polar plot, scatter plot, etc. These plots we are going to implement or use to visualize in Python by using this matplotlib library. So matplotlib is a comprehensive library for creating static, animated, interactive visualizations in Python. Matplotlib along with NumPy can be considered as an open source equivalent to MATLAB. So what is MATLAB? MATLAB is a programming language which allows matrix manipulation, plotting of function and data, as well as numerical computations. So Matplotlib was originally written by John Hunter in the year 2003. So this was all about the overview of matplotlib library. Now we will move towards the actual implementation of this matplotlib library. So here we have first of all import this library. As I told you earlier, for using this matplotlib library, you no need to make any installation in Jupyter Notebooks. But if you are using command prompt or any other tool, then you have to install it first. So how to install this library? Just you have to write one command, which is pip install matplotlib, and hit the enter. After some time, matplotlib got installed in your system. So here I am using Jupyter Notebook, so so by default this matplotlib library is installed. So here from matplotlib import pyplot. So what is this pyplot? Pyplot is the module in matplotlib as PLT. PLT is used for referring pyplot, as is nothing but the alias. Import NumPy as MP. We require to import this NumPy library because we are going to plot the arrays of numbers. So for dealing with arrays, we require this NumPy library. That's why we are importing this here. Again we are importing math. So math is used for importing math function. In this we are using pi. That's why we are going to use math. So here I am taking two variables x and y. In x I am going to store mp.arange 0 math.pi multiply by 2 means 2 pi and 0.05. We use arange to obtain the n-dimensional array object of angle between 0 and 2 pi. For y-axis, we take sine of x values. plt.x label and plt.y label is used to make a labels to our plot. So here we have seen sine waves is nothing but our title, but angle and sine, these are nothing but our x label and y label. These are our x values and these are our y values. And for displaying this, I am not using any kind of function. Here only the sine wave, sine and this angle, these three labels are displayed and no plot is displayed. The plot will be only displayed when we use dot plot x comma y. This function is used to display our plot. So here we have displayed our plot by using this plot function. In this plot function, we are going to pass two variables x and y. X and y are nothing but the numerical values of x and y. X contains np.arange and y contains the sign of this x. In this way, we have plotted our simple matplotlib plot. Now we will move towards, we will take x1 and x2, again two variables. In x1 we are going to assign one list 1, 60, 30, 42, 55, 60, 68, 77, 88. These are nothing but our list. Again x2 is our one more list and we use plot function to display the plot or to use to plot the data. Whatever data we take here, we will display those data using this plot function. You can visualize here. See, this is nothing but our plot. Moving towards next. Here again we have imported NumPy. Again we have imported PyLab. So PyLab is a module that imports matplotlib. PyLab for plotting and NumPy for maths in a single namespace. So why PyLab is used? Because the PyPlot and NumPy going to be imported in a single library which is called as PyLab. Here we take x value as linspace -3, 3. So linspace is nothing but the starting position and the ending position. This is the range of the numbers. We have to take a numbers from -3 to 3. For y, we are taking x exponential 2. This double star stand for exponential. We are going to plot x comma y. And here we can visualize this. See, in this way we have plotted our new plot. Okay. So here we have taken only x comma y. But actual plot function contains three parameters. One is x value, another is y value, and one more parameter is there which state that what style you like or what color you have to give to your plot. For that here I have used R and dot. R is nothing but red color and dot is nothing but I have to display my data using these dots. You can compare here. Here we have used R dot. That's why we see this red color dots for plot. And here I have used nothing. That's why it shows me here by default blue color line. See, here I haven't used anything, but here I have used R dot. Similarly, if I use R and this exponential sign, then it will show me my plot like this. Again here I am using B plus. So blue plus, B plus is nothing but blue plus. So it shows me plus sign. In this way you can take any kind of style for plotting. So as I stated earlier, the various types of plot we can visualize using matplotlib. Now we will see one by one. So first of all we will see bar plot. So what is bar plot? The bar plot or a bar chart is a graph that represents the category of data with rectangular bars. See, these are nothing but the bars. We can plot the graph bar plot horizontally or as well as vertically. So this is our horizontal. Or you can also plot by using vertically also. So to plot the bar plot in Python, we use matplotlib.pyplot as PLT. Then fig in this variable I am going to plt.figure. The purpose of plt.figure is to create figure object. Now I am taking in x variable, r-axis is used to provide the dimensions. So here 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1 are nothing but the dimensions. And this domain and student, these are the two lists. These two lists is nothing but our bar plot data. X dot bar is used to plot the bar plot according to the data provided. So domain and student, this is nothing but the two lists. These two lists is nothing but the data. So x dot bar is used to provide the data. So here I have provided two parameters which is called as domain and students. plt.show is used to show or display the plot. So here by using this I have displayed my plot. You can see here these are my domain AI, ML, DS, DM, BD, and here is nothing but our students. So how many students participated in this domain? So I can visualize from here. In AI, the student might be between 20 to 25. So it is 23. So it might be between 20 to 25. Again here I can see in ML the student might be range from 15 to 20. So that is 17. In this way we can plot our bar plot. Now we will move towards histogram. So first of all, what is histogram? Histogram is an approximate representation of the distribution of numerical data. The difference between histogram and bar plot is, in bar plot each column represents a group defined by a categorical variable, and in histograms each column represents a group defined by a continuous variable. Only the difference between histogram and a bar plot is continuous variable and categorical variable. So for displaying histogram we use from matplotlib import pyplot as plt, again import numpy as np, fig comma x. In these two variables I am going to store plt.subplot. So what is this subplot? Sometimes it is helpful to compare different views of data side by side. That's why the subplot is used. But here we are not comparing, we are just displaying the data. That's why here we have passed only 1, 1. If you want, you can pass any number to plot the subplot according to your need. So here I am displaying only one plot. That's why I have used 1, 1. In a variable I have stored this array x.hist. This is our hist function. In this hist function we are going to pass a as a variable. Again we are going to pass bins. So what is bins? Bins are the difference between the frequencies. So how much frequency you require to display histogram? So here I have given 0, 25, 60, 80 and 100. Therefore here they have displayed me 0, 25, 50, 75 and 100. So x.set title is histogram. So here it has shown me the title as histogram. Then x ticks is nothing but our 0, 25, 50, 75. X label is our marks and y label is student. So if I do plt.show, it will show me my histogram. So in this way, by using this hist function, you can display your histogram. But remember, here bins are nothing but the difference between their frequencies. Alright, let's move towards further. Now we will see about pie chart. So what exactly the pie chart is? Pie chart is a circular graph which is divided into slices to illustrate numerical proportion. If we take a cake and we divide it into slices, how it looks, in such a way the pie chart will be look. So again I am going to from matplotlib import pyplot as plt, import numpy as np. Then in this figure I am going to store plt.figure. As I stated earlier, this function is used to make a figure objects. Then this dot r-axis is equal to, see here we have taken x dot axis equal is used to show the aspect ratio, and here add axis is again used to show the dimension 0 1 0 0 1 1. These are nothing but our dimensions. Here land in student is our data, and x dot pi, this is our function or the property of matplotlib that is used to show or to visualize pi plot. So student, then labels equal to lang and autopct. Autopct is one of the parameter which is given to this pi function. Autopct is used to label the wedges with their numerical value. Here I have taken 1.2f, means I want the float value. So here I will show plt.show, which is used to show the data. In this way it will be visualize our pie chart. Here it shows me the data in the form of float, because here I have passed 1.2f. So in this way, in this today's lecture, we learn about pie plot, histogram, bar plot, how to plot a simple bar plot, simple plot, etc. So in next video, we are going to study the scatter plot, quiver plot, violin plot, counter plot, etc. So thanks for watching the video. If you like this video, you can like, share and subscribe to my channel for more tutorials. Thank you.